Hey, I'm Jim Kimble, editor of CordCuttingReport.com, and today we're not just talking about any TV, we're talking about laser TVs, specifically the WEMAX Nova 4K laser TV. This is not a sponsored video, however, WEMAX did send the laser TV and screen into the Cord Cutting Report free of charge for a couple of reviews that you can find over on the website. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 essential things that I think you should consider no matter what kind of laser TV you're considering for your home theater setup. First off, what is a laser TV? It's actually an ultra short throw projector that you can set up very close to a wall that will give you a huge, crisp, bright image that measures about 100 to 120 inches diagonal. Laser TVs offer a bright, vibrant picture with great contrast and color accuracy. This kind of hardware is expensive. It's geared toward movie buffs who really want a theater-like experience at home. So you should really consider your room space, your wall size, and your seating. The placement of the laser TV is also really crucial when it comes to screen size. When I first had this set up in the office, I had it on a low bookshelf, and that gave me a decent screen size, and that setup worked fine because I didn't have a screen at the time. Like I said earlier, you only need to be a foot or two from the wall in order to get about 100-inch screen size. The screen you see behind me is 120 inches, and that's quite a bit bigger. So you should really consider both the distance from the wall and your elevation. Right now, I have this set up on this old root beer box and this tile, and it's about 1.5 feet off the ground. As you can see, it's not the most elegant setup, but it's fine for what I'm doing here in the office, just testing out and using the equipment to see how it works. If you're setting up a home theater, you're probably going to want something that looks a little bit nicer. Whether or not you use a screen and the lighting in your room are 2 other things that you should really think about. When I first started using this laser TV, I was just projecting onto the wall that you see behind here, and that was a pretty good experience at first, but then after a while, I started to notice little paint cracks in the wall, spots where the previous homeowner spackled in holes, and it really just got to be distracting after a while. Once I got the screen, the difference in picture clarity, contrast, and color was really night and day. This is what's known as an ALR screen, and that's short for ambient light rejecting surface. So that means you can watch the laser TV in a room that's lit, but you're always going to have a better experience in a darker room. If you are thinking about setting up a laser TV in a bright space, I would say you would definitely want to invest in a screen. One thing that I think doesn't get talked about enough is aspect ratio. With a screen like the one behind me, it's a 16:9 aspect ratio. That's the same aspect ratio as most smart TVs. Most movie theater screens have a 21:9 aspect ratio, and IMAX screens have an aspect ratio of 14:10. So why even bother with a huge screen? For me, watching on a bigger screen makes me notice more things that are happening within the frame. It changes my perspective and just my overall movie watching experience. It's definitely not the same experience as watching on a large smart TV. I see a lot of smaller details and where the camera is really focused on particular shots. So despite the aspect ratio being the same, I still get that movie theater experience. Let's talk about the streaming setup. The Nova 4K runs on Android TV, so it has a lot of the popular streaming apps that you want, such as Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, live TV streaming services such as Fubo and Sling TV. However, it does not have a native Netflix app. And that's generally true with any projector you find running Android TV. Now, this does have a Chromecast built into the Laser TV. However, you won't be able to stream Netflix, and you could have some limitations on other apps as well. Personally, when I'm using a setup like this, I prefer to use a NVIDIA Shield. The Shield is one of the most powerful streaming devices on the market, so I would say the software overall works very well on its own. But if you want to watch Netflix, or you want to have a little more flexibility outside of what's offered in the Laser TV software, then attaching your own streaming device is a good call. If you are going to take this plunge into the world of Laser TVs, I really encourage you to think of your budget and to do a lot of comparison shopping over the course of several months. The WEMAX Nova 4K is priced at around $2,700. The screen, I believe, is around $700. And really, the Nova 4K is pretty close to an entry-level kind of price. When you start looking around, you'll see other units that cost as much as $5,000 or $10,000. So look around at the other brands like Samsung, Optima, Hisense. There's a number of manufacturers out there to consider, and you should really wait for sales and discounts that pop up throughout the year. In my newsletter, I just had a listing of ALR Laser TVs that were on sale during Black Friday. So those sales and discounts are definitely out there. You just need to be aware of them and to have resources at your fingertips that alert you when these sales come up. The one last thing I would say is that a Laser TV is not a TV. It's definitely not a one-to-one comparison. It's not a replacement for a TV, but it is a super enjoyable experience. I don't go to the movie theater as much as I'd like to these days, and frankly, I watch a lot of older movies now on services like the Criterion Channel, so having a setup like this is really great. For more insights on the Nova Laser TV and the screen, head over to cordcuttingreport.com. You can also sign up for my Cord Cutting Nation newsletter, where I give free tech tips and streaming deals straight to your inbox. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.